Hi again, Lysander, and hi again, audience. How are you guys doing? I don't know what to think of all this so far. Good to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Lysander. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ah, she likes manga. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. She says manga. Mangaka. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Lysander always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. So, you don't know, I didn't do anything wrong. I just really like matches, you know? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Lysander can become good friends too. Sayori. You're so fucking oblivious, it's embarrassing. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori! Sayori, you bitch. That's not very nice. Me? Oh, wait, wrong voice. Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sorry, I made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Oh, what do I do? It's cute. It's really cute. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you, it's a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. It's fine. Alright, well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you wanted, in the bedroom. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? It's mind-boggling. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Yeah, that's me. Or it used to be. I don't read as much as I used to, but that's, man, all through high school, I had a big book with me, or 2 or 3 books, every class. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. For the manga? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. Yes I am. But at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages, so she probably bought the book for me. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. This music. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Someone make anime noises. Make them in your head. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. I really understand that, like, the giving someone a book and, like, reading it with them and hoping, like, you can discuss it together. You know, I've been there. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. She bought an extra copy for me, you dipshit. Well, I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. What? There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Lysander? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Right, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things because I am a blockhead, apparently. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's the quiet ones you gotta watch for, kid. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. Well, you can find horror in anything. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. That's not really horror per se, but alright. It's interesting. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I will tell you if I lose interest. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem when I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I like her a lot. I relate to this character a lot. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It is a literature club after all. Well, yeah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Come on, don't trap this poor girl. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. see. I've made her less haughty and less posh, but I think it fits her character better. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling's somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to, sorry. I mean... I cannot count on the on both hands how many times I've had this conversation with people. I'm like, stop apologizing. Stop fucking apologizing. Please, you don't need to apologize. Here, this should work, right? Aww. That's so cute. That's so cute. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. The only problem with this is that if one of you reads much faster than the other person, then you just kind of sit at the page and wait. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Aww. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled together even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. Well, I mean, you know, who wouldn't, right? It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Oh, man. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. Oh my god, she knows everything. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Look at that. I didn't notice her, that she was looking at us. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, you're right. You're right, fam. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. That's the best way to do it. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? She's not smiling now. How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Lysander, it might be a little bit early to psychoanalyze your friend. I'm just saying, it might be a bit early in the relationship. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, then she slaps me. But, Lysander, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Hang on, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Really? Really, protagonist? You didn't know she was self-conscious about that sort of thing. You call her out on second-guessing all of her shit, but you didn't know she was self-conscious. You fucking blockhead. Take a sip of my drink here. There you go. Ellipses. I guess I'm more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Yeah. Saved by the bell. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking... Excuse me. If you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. That was smoothly done by the protagonist, actually. That was a good way, you know? She doesn't have a preference either way, so we'll do both. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. I wish I could make mental notes. My mental notes are useless. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration. I have never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiraled notebook. On the other hand, Monica was something. I skipped it. That's convenient. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, that's obvious. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Ellipses. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's, I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. You know, them words, you know, 2 words at a time, couplets, you know, oh yeah, really 10 out of 10 poetry writing, I assure you. Really? That's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Ellipses? Well, I know that. I just meant, She trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. Uh-huh. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. Huh. 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 I am deliberating as to whether I do that. Well, my writing style is very deliberate. Because, okay, for those that don't know, I do a bit of writing in my free time. Just for myself. My writing style is really deliberate, but I think I'd make it mesh with the topic matter. Like, the writing style is part of the topic, and vice versa. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. She smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Well, I can say as someone that gets very excited and passionate and is extremely long-winded about topics that they care about, yeah, being able to explain your fucking thought process is very difficult and very rare. That's why, people that are like that, value very highly people that are willing to listen and put up with our bullshit. So, you know, if you're a friend of a person like that, don't undersell how much they value you for allowing them to spout their bullshit. It's hard to come across those. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Cool. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. Actually, I think your handwriting's pretty. Eh? Well, that's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? Girl, have you ever read a poem? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it, I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo-hoo. Okay. Is that like a mm-hmm? Is that what that is? It isn't. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Lysander. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Can I? Oh, that's a damn shame. I wish I could go look at the poem again. I hope the game will give me another chance. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Lysander. Me too. Definitely. Man, that's a real bummer. I wish I could see it again. So I guess what I'm gonna have to do is save the game when I want to see things again. And reload the save. Let's go visit with Sayori. She's my second favorite. This is a good poem, Lysander. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'd be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Lysander. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? What? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Yeah. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. She's such a sweetheart. Aww. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my... Sorry. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That's just as adorable as she is. I like it. It's very simple. Very like, you know, you got your A-B. Well, not here, though. This one is freeform. It doesn't rhyme. I'm gonna have to pull out all my old poetry knowledge. I was never really into poetry. That's my mom. I know a bit. It's just an AABB. I'll try to brush up on some of my, like, some of the old poetry knowledge locked away. Try to brush up on that and see if I can actually analyze some of these and point out anything interesting. Like, it is interesting. This is freeform, and this is very structured, and it's interesting to put something structured in the middle of your poem and then go unstructured at the end, you know? Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Oh yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, it's very in the moment. You know, in that unstructured format, it makes it feel like in the moment, to me. Especially ending the poem on a, I want breakfast. It's cute. It's cute. Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school. It's pet to skip breakfast. And get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This is so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Alright, folks. We're hitting the 30-minute mark here, so let's do these last 2 poems from the characters I don't care for a whole lot yet. We'll hit them next time. See you then.